Let's take an honest look at the South Carolina Gamecocks. Posted a tweet the other day. You know we've been doing this series. Y'all have been phenomenal in supporting it. And I just asked, who do you want to see? Let us know who you want us to talk about. The Gamecocks obviously got a fair amount of support, so that's what we're talking about them right now. But follow me on Twitter at JDPikel to contribute to this whole conversation. In terms of what's going on in Columbia, like Chad Simmons says, director of recruiting here at On3, Big Mo is in the building in Columbia. Momentum is rolling right now in Beamer Ball. I don't know there was a team that finished the regular season hotter than the Gamecocks, beating not one but two top 10 teams to finish the season, beating Tennessee and then beating your rival Clemson. Like, life is good right now. To quote Future and Drake, life is good. They're bringing back two key pieces. Spencer Rattler said, I'm not finished. I want to come back one more year. Juice Wells, his favorite target, also running it back. And also, you landed Nicholas Harbor, a five-star athlete, a special player. Could play him at edge, could play him at tight end. It sounds like he's going to play receiver early for the Gamecocks. There's a lot of juice right now in South Carolina. Now, what you do with it, that's on you. You have earned the right to have some more eyeballs on you. You've earned the right to have some more pressure on you in South Carolina. Now, what do you do with it? I think a lot of 2023 will be a we're here kind of year. Like the first 2 years were a good story. We're going to talk more about that in a second, but 2023 is a we're here kind of year because Beamer Ball, everyone maybe had hesitations or maybe had guarded expectations. They've now overachieved for 2 years in a row. Vegas was giving them 6 games to begin the year. That was the win total. That was the projection. For the second year in a row, overachieved. Won 8 games this past season. So at South Carolina, like I already said multiple times, there is a lot of juice. More on that in just a second. If you have not yet subscribed to the On3 YouTube channel, we would love to have you along for the ride. We are live on Tuesdays. We are live on Thursdays. Make sure you got the bell clicked so you can be on with us when we're live. We have a good time there. Also, like I said, follow me on socials at JDPikel on Instagram as well as on Twitter so you can contribute to the conversation, so we can have a medium to hear from you more frequently and in real time. So we appreciate you in advance for that. So what is 2023 about for the Gamecocks? Like we talked about where they are right now. Again, momentum. But what is 2023 about? Talked to a friend of the program, the Spurs Up Show, and was asked this exact same question. And my thought around 2023 is it's all about establishing the floor for your program, establishing what you're going to be when everything else around you falls out. Injuries, problems on the field, whatever it is, whenever there's issues, you go back to your floor. And previously at South Carolina, before Beamer Ball, the floor was pretty low. You had a year in 2019, you went 4-8. The year after that in 2020, you went 2-8. Now Beamer Ball enters the fray. 2021, you win 7 games. 2022, like I said, you win 8 games. So you're continuing to climb. And again, this wasn't expected by a lot of people. They weren't expected. They weren't supposed to have this much success early on in his time at South Carolina, much less in the SEC. Okay? So now, South Carolina's turning some heads. In 2023, I want to know what the floor is year in and year out. Are you an 8-win program? Are you a 9-win program? Like, what are you going to be consistently? And the reason why that's important is because just optically, if I'm a recruit, I want to know what I'm going to be at South Carolina. I want to know the variance year in and year out for how successful we can be, for how successful we're going to be under Shane Beamer. 2 years is phenomenal. That progress is great. But what will you be? I think 2023 is the identity year. And if they can establish a strong identity, if they can be firm in who they are on the field as a product, I think you're pouring gas on the fire. I think this thing has slowly but surely built. The culture is second to none. We talk about it all the time here. You can't put a stat on it. You can't show it on tape, but you know it when you see it. And that's what they have at South Carolina. So you mix phenomenal culture with a great coach to play for, with momentum. Recruits are watching South Carolina right now. If you don't believe me, ask Nicholas Harbor. A solid 2023, like I said, would cause this entire thing to erupt. And it's there for you. Spencer Rattler's back at quarterback. Juice Wells, the number one target for him, is back at receiver. The way they finished the year, I think, showed you a glimpse of what they could be at South Carolina. Now, what will they be in 2023? The choice is yours for Beamer Ball. The choice is yours. But I would say this. There was so much talk around being a great story for South Carolina, and that's great they beat Tennessee. That's great they beat Clemson, and everyone's happy for South Carolina because it was the upset, right? I mean, they were 2-score dogs in both those games. Now, Coach Beamer and his team, not worried about being a nice story. They're not worried about being the Cinderella story or being the headline of, they upset insert next team here. They're moving towards the product of week in and week out, we handle business. It's what we do here in Columbia. We're not a nice story. We write the story. We're not just a small article on the page. We're the headline. That's who we are in Columbia now. And that's what Shane Beamer and his team are carrying themselves as. That's what the attitude is moving forward. That's what the culture is internally. And I'm telling you, they've built it slowly but surely. But if they have success in 2023, that'd be the third good year in a row. I think recruiting would continue to boom. I would expect a big 2024. Like, all the pieces are set up for this bomb in a positive way to go off at South Carolina. So keep an eye on the Gamecocks. Columbia, man, I'm telling you, it's a powder keg about to erupt with a good 2023. This has been The Hard Count. Nick, Break, Lift, and Heavy. We appreciate y'all rocking with us. This is the People's Show. So everything that you know and love about this beautiful game, it happens here year-round. As we know, college football don't take a break. The show doesn't either. So thank you for that. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you follow me on Twitter and on Instagram at JD Piquel. We're going to keep the party rolling, and we will see y'all next time. Hey, y'all. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also, be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.